So I was scrolling Twitter recently and I saw two security nightmares. The first one was ShipFast. Now, if you don't know what ShipFast is a product for other indie hackers to create their own products. A lot of people actually started pointing out that it had security flaws, and Mark Liu ended up replying to that in kind of an iffy way. One security flaw basically allowed a user to completely bypass the checkout and get the product basically for free, right? So that's pretty bad. So if you're interested in learning more about that incident, you should probably check out Anthony Sistili's whatever his name is, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it, video, right? But I recently saw another tweet and it kind of sparked in me to make this video. Basically, the tweet says, nowadays people will learn every other JavaScript framework, but not basic web security. This is an API response from one of the biggest e-commerce stores who is selling merch of few big Bollywood celebrities, cricketers, and YouTubers. I can query every user response by just changing query params. And every fucking API on this website is vulnerable to insecure direct object reference. It means I can place an order on behalf of anyone whose user ID I know. And then it gave a picture of what data can be queried, and it's pretty bad. Basically, he was able to query user IDs, names, passwords, whatever, right? So that's pretty bad, right? So this got me thinking, what other web security mistakes can developers do? So I compiled a short list of web security mistakes that you should probably avoid while creating your applications. First up is not having proper checks for roles when authorizing a user. Now in my app that I'm building, I have business owners, clients, and admins. And I once made a security mistake. Basically, I have made a tRPC method that would delete service provided that I gave it a service ID. Now thankfully, I used a middleware to protect me from unauthorized use by other people. But what I didn't check, however, was client-side validation. Basically, it would show users the edit and delete buttons even though they weren't a business user. The fix? Pretty simple. Add validation on both sides. Check the roles on the front end and the back end, and preferably have a middleware to check the roles before you actually allow user to query the data. Second up, not validating your API payloads properly. Now imagine an input where we can upload pictures. Technically, nothing seems wrong here, but if we click upload, as we can see, we can upload basically anything we want with no limits. That's bad. That's like really bad, right? So imagine waking up one day and seeing that your S3, Cloudflare R2, or any other bucket service that you're using has basically racked up thousands of dollars of incurring costs. Now that would be pretty bad. That would ruin my morning, honestly, right? So instead, you should probably add limits to what can be uploaded. Add limits to the size of the content that can be uploaded and stuff like that. If you do that, you make sure that the spammers, if they come through one day, they can't really wreak havoc on your file uploading system. You should probably also think about compressing the data that comes through. Number 3, exposing sensitive data in API responses. Basically, we saw the same thing in the tweet. So let me show you an example. In my app, I have businesses and clients that are both able to see their reservations on the calendar. Now let's imagine in the return data, we would add a business and maybe we would include all of the reservations they might have. Bam! This is a security vulnerability. Now we are able to find the data about the users that the business has. Not only is that bad, right? Now a malicious actor can basically query sensitive data, and this also violates data protection laws. Now to fix that, you should probably provide the right amount of data for the user who's querying the data. Pretty simple, right? Number 4, hardcoding secrets and sensitive data in code. Guys, seriously, do not commit your API keys. I've seen so many memes of guys committing ChatGPT API keys to their GitHub repositories that it's crazy. I've seen bots, scalpers, trying to get these API keys and to use them up to their full limit, right? Guys, do not do this. But if you have ever made this mistake, you shouldn't feel too bad about it. Now, there has been notable cases of huge companies leaving out their API keys in the wild. In 2016, Uber experienced a massive data breach after a person left AWS credentials in a GitHub repository. Slack also experienced a similar security incident by hard-coding API tokens and keys. Facebook in 2019 basically leaked millions of user passwords and data, and the issue basically happened due to Facebook having sensitive data hard-coded. And such cases have happened to GitHub, Nintendo, and many others. Now, the fix is pretty simple. Do not commit your env variables, dummy. So the second thing is probably have your secrets in git ignore, and you should probably also use a secrets manager. A lot of cloud providers these days provide such services. So for example, AWS, Azure, GCP, both provide secret manager services which can store your secrets for you. Now, there are so many other tips I could give to you. So for example, making sure that your dependencies are up to date, because holy shit, almost every week, every day, there are vulnerabilities being found in open source software. So I'd watch out for that personally. Now, these are only a couple of tips that basically came into my head. I did notice that like 98% of you are not subscribed to my channel. Guys, maybe we should like up that number a little bit, right? So probably hit that subscribe button, right? And if you liked the video, you should probably also like the video. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.